to our next segment.
What is that?
I think this is what the people have been waiting for. Oh, hold on. Before we move forward, I forgot 2 comments, y'all, about Joshua Cadence. They said the song was kind of sad, but sometimes we need sad songs.
I feel that.
And then
I feel that.
they said this joint got bounce, and then someone said this whole podcast is fire.
Hey, shout out to you.
Shout out to you. Shout out to you. The Rollin' Biscuit. Definitely, we'd love to have you in here in the in-person audience. Thanks for interacting online.
This wouldn't even be possible without you guys too.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
like,
So let's get it.
It's a community. Like when we started this podcast, we really envisioned like indie artists connecting and just having a place where like you're gonna get played. You know that you're gonna get some feedback on your music. You know what I mean? So shout out to the community of C.K.G. and let's get in. Let's go ahead and get into our big moment here. I know people at home been waiting for this. They've been asking for him.
Yeah, they've been asking all night.
They asking. I heard we got a humble hoodlum in the house.
Oh, let's get it.
Big humble hoodlum in the house.
The one and only Super Roll.
That's my cue?
Yes.
Oh, man, you put it up on the screen, too? Oh, man, look at that.
Welcome
to C.K.G Sound.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, so what's up with you, man?
The show is hot.
Yes, thank you.
What y'all think in the audience? No, I'm just playing. What's going on?
Right, it is.
I appreciate y'all having me.
Yeah, let's get it.
We've been trying to get you on here for a little bit now.
Yeah,
true,
for
true.
real.
You're a busy person.
Busy man.
I try to stay busy. I appreciate y'all having me, though.
Yeah,
No, for real. Like I says, it really is an honor, and just in general for the show now to be hosted at Martinsburg, to have you here, it just really does mean something. So
I appreciate that.
for the people,
Yeah, I was gonna say for the people
Yeah.
at home, like you know what I mean. Tell us a little bit about who you are and stuff, as an
Uh-huh.
artist and what you
Oh
do.
man, the quick rundown. I'm Super Roll. I'm originally from the Bay Area, California. I came out to this area, to the Panhandle area. I linked up with my man Wiley Flew. We can't talk about Humble Hoodlum without mentioning Wiley Flew.
Right.
This
Right.
is all
That's
his
great.
Rest in peace to him.
brainchild. Yeah, Wiley was murdered in 4 years ago, 2017, and since then I've been kind of running the family, like we like to call it, and we're just trying to spread positive vibes. We have a nice stable of artists. We have people that are affiliated with the brand. Tay is affiliated with the brand. Taste My Jiggy. It's got the My Jiggy soda. I was just drinking it live on Facebook yesterday. Tay just dropped the album yesterday. Unmedicated,
yep.
just so y'all know.
The unmedicated, right? That's what it's called.
Yeah, unmedicated. Yeah. But yeah, we're just trying to spread the positivity and good vibes and good music, and just like our whole thing is kind of, for the most part, like that golden era hip hop vibes. Not necessarily the sound, but the vibe. That's what we're trying to do.
Like even when I first met you and stuff, I never had the privilege to meet Wiley and stuff like that. But like, you know what I mean? Just even knowing you and stuff, like just seeing everything that you do for the Hoodlums and like everything that you've done, like just creating the events. Your community for the Hoodlums is insane, bro. Like I respect your hustle.
no other like it
for the Hoodlums.
I appreciate that,
because like your community, I call it your community because they really are your community.
Yeah,
everywhere you go, it's your family, bro. It's your, like, you can see it, you can tell, like, and I respect that, bro. I respect that.
We got the song family because I don't got no fans, I don't got no friends, I just got my family. Everybody else is something else, you know what I'm saying?
That's facts.
Oh, so yeah, let me take it back a little bit. When I'm bringing it way back.
Okay.
So in the beginning, what was it? Where did that inspiration come from? Like, what was it that made you take music serious?
What made me take really, I don't know. I've had music in my life, like my whole life. I guess what really made me take it serious is just seeing what was happening in the Bay Area. Like as I was on my way out of there, the hyphy movement was really taking off, and seeing a community of artists just kind of just expressing themselves and everybody supporting each other for the most part, and seeing that like when you left the area, it wasn't the same as it was in the area. And if you was in the area, if you wasn't listening to hyphy music, or if you wasn't down with Mac Dre or E40 or Yuck Mouth or any of them, then you might as well not even be from the Bay at the time. And like I came out here and I saw that there was like a void. You know, there was some solid artists when I came out here. Like I got off the plane, first thing I did was ask like, yo, who's popping out here? And people, you know, I gotta shout out Mossberg Duck. That was the first person that people brought up to me and stuff like. And Psych Sick, who I work with now, who was with Homicidal Maniacs.
Right.
You know, people were bringing them up to me, and I'm like, we got all these talented people in this area, but there's the potential was there, but it wasn't happening, and it's still not happening yet. But I'm trying to, you know, do what I can to, you know, facilitate that for the area. And y'all seen it with the shows and the events and how I affiliate people and bring people in to what we're doing. You know, I'm just trying to you know, make things as viable as possible for as many people as possible, you know.
Right. And that's one thing I see about you is that you really do like just open the door for anyone and anyone, like, you know what I mean? Like you really do like allow to create opportunities for people, like, you know what I mean? Like anybody could be a hoodlum, you know what I mean? I'm a hoodlum, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Yes,
like,
sir.
yeah, like, and I love that whole community thing, like, and tell me about like getting to that point, you know what I mean? I'm sure you had trials and tribulations, you know, going through what you had to and stuff, but like, you still continue to stay solid through everything that you do, you know what I mean? You still continue to push forward, you still continue, and that inspires people like me, inspires people like Ashley, inspires people in the audience, you feel me? Because at the end of the day, it's like, seeing you push forward gives me hope to like, you know what I mean? All right, I can push forward, I can maybe create something, a community of my own, you know what I mean? And stuff like that. So, yeah.
I'm gonna crack open my
Yeah,
Let's get it.
for sure. So,
But for real, like, just to answer your question real quick, like, how I feel about it, like, if not me, then who?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, if
Straight
not me,
up.
then who?
Straight up.
So I
Straight
gotta
up.
do what I'm doing.
Facts.
nah, that's facts though. So did you have like a role model, you know, growing up before you got to the point where you're like, I'm gonna create my own wave? Like, who did you look up to?
I've always looked up to myself. No, I'm just
Oh my god!
I said that real serious too. I was like, dang.
Like, tell me more. Every time.
Since I was a baby, no.
Right.
No, I mean, like I said, like the Bay Area movement was like real important to me. Like people like Yuck Mouth. Yuck Mouth is probably my biggest influence. Back in the day, it was like Cannabis too. I loved Cannabis back in the day. His whole like battle thing where he pulled out his notebook paper, that broke my heart. But yeah, like people just like business people that saw more than music. Like when I started doing merch and everything, people were telling me like, yo, that's the rock band hustle where you're selling shirts and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And it's always been like, what can we do outside of the music? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So anybody that was doing stuff, like anybody that was taking their music and doing more from it, that's the people I was watching. The Master P's, the Jay-Z's, you know what I'm saying? And then back home, it was, you know, Mac Dre, the whole Thiz movement, and Yuck Mouth and Jay Prince and people like that, you know. So that's who I'm always watching. I'm still watching them.
True.
Okay. So, next question for you that I got. When was your first performance?
Oh,
When was the first
man.
time you hit a stage or held a mic?
1943.
Yo, oh man. You know what? What was that video? But nah, I was it was actually in the church. I used to like the first place I got to actually write my own lyrics and perform my own lyrics was in the church because they had little breakdowns and people knew that I rapped, so they would let me like write my own raps and do them in church. So that was the very first place that I was performing. That's where I got my chops with the youth choir.
Yo, that's
Shout out to South Bay.
yeah, right. Yo, that's kind of crazy because like I kind of have a similar story too. Like when I first like back in like elementary school, I had this chorus teacher that like pushed me to like sing and pushed me to like do stuff and get in front of the class and like perform and shit. And I think it was because of her, honestly. That's why I'm like more comfortable of doing stuff now because like, and it's the littlest thing. You might not think that shit like doesn't affect you, but like later down the road, it's gonna be like, oh shit, like, you know what I mean? I didn't take into consideration that like I was kind of already learning that shit at a young age.
Yeah.
And now I'm like more comfortable with it. Now I can like, you know, present myself in a way, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Like I said, it's definitely inspirational. Hit you, you know, when you're least expecting it.
Right.
So to catch you up on some comments real quick
Okay,
before we
let's
get to
get
the
it.
next questions.
They said,
We got the
"Long live
rolling.
Dread Eye."
Yup, long live Dread Eye. R.I.P. Andrew. He was a good dude. HHE forever. Proud to be a part of HHE. That's the Rollin' Biscuit. Sarah Seen said the juice / liver loves you. I'm assuming that's for you.
Yeah, that's the homie Matt Oliver, the juice, Humble Hoodlum tastemaker.
And then Rollin' Biscuit said, "How's the soda?"
Yo, it's delicious. That's the homie Joey. He's like one of the biggest supporters.
Oh shout out to Joey. Shout out to Joey, yo.
I didn't even have to say his whole name.
Yeah, I already knew.
Shout out to Joey.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what's up. So like, tell me what are some plans for Humble Hoodlums? What are some plans for yourself? Like, you know what I mean? What is it? Where do you want to like take yourself next to? You know what I mean? Career wise, life wise, like.
Well, right now I'm just trying to work with artists, and you know, I'm kind of at a point where I'm trying to figure out exactly what's next. You know, we're making music, we're doing things that are financially viable. So, you know, now it's kind of time to figure out what's next and kind of put other people in position so we can all do what I'm doing together. You know, but I mean, really, like, what's immediately next? Bigger events. I'm working on putting together a festival at some point when things get a little bit different, you know.
Okay.
And we're gonna start trying to bring out some bigger artists to the area, and you know, just more music. We're trying to do more music. Tay just dropped last week. I'm dropping, or yesterday.
Right.
I'm dropping next Friday. I'm dropping Slap 4 for anybody.
Ooh, y'all heard that?
Slapping and 4 about to
Tell
drop.
me a little bit about that.
I mean, slapping-ins are just like, they just slapping, you know? Sometimes shit slappings, you know?
Right. It's just
so,
too
like,
slapping.
it's just, I don't
It's
really
like it's
promote
busting.
them like that. I just put them out. This is the first one that's been streaming, so I did promote it a little bit.
Okay.
But usually they just slapping. This one I announced like a couple weeks ago, but it's an EP, and it has, you know, I usually on my slapping-ins, I get some of my more, abrasive feelings out, and then we get back to the fun stuff we're doing. You know, we're working on a compilation. Me and Tay got a song, Way Up, that's about to be on there. That's we actually did hear it Too Hot Too Heavy. So
Okay.
We
yeah.
trying to get a C.K.G. Humble Hoodlum.
I mean,
What's up?
listen, we had a conversation.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Let me know.
Let's get it.
You already know. We all got mad love for you. Hoodlums got mad love for y'all. And like what you said earlier, people ask me all the time, how can I be a hoodlum? And I tell them, just show up.
Yeah.
And you'll feel them vibes, and you'll know. Like once you feel the vibes, you'll know. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You just gotta be there.
That's facts.
So I got 2 questions for you. One, how would you describe your style to somebody who doesn't know Super Row or the Humble Hoodlums?
Well, Humble Hoodlum, I would describe as just a family, you know, a place where you can go to. It's like a safe place, you know, and when it's not a safe place, we change that. You know what I'm saying? If anything ever happens where it's not a safe place, we immediately make sure that it's a safe place again. As like, I don't want to get into like anything specific, but people have seen in the past when those types of things have happened. Like,
You guys come together.
yeah, hoodlums come together and we take care of one another, you know. So Humble Hoodlum is just a family, and it's a melting pot. You know, we got people, everybody got a different style. We got horrorcore artists. We got people that are, you know, more hip hop R&B ish. You know, like we have Knowledge is another affiliate who is just like straight up
Fire.
hip
Shout
hop.
out him.
You know what I'm saying?
Biblical bars.
Yeah,
Like.
you know, we got people all across the spectrum when it comes to the talent in the Humble Hoodlum stable, artists and affiliates. And so it's hard to even say what the style is. Just I try to direct everything into a golden era hip hop vibe, just how it felt back when, you know, Eminem and Method Man and DMX and, you know, Def Jam. What was it? What was that Def Jam concert? I can't remember, but it had everybody. I had the CD. But you know, just no, but it wasn't Summer Jam. It was I can't remember what it was. But you know, like Violator era vibes. You know what I'm saying? Just like I'll remember it later. I'll sit up like 4:00 in the morning. I'm like, that's what it was.
Just hit the blunt.
But you know, just the golden era vibes where like hip hop was fun, but it was still aggressive. You know what I mean? And for me, I'm just trying to have a good time and make the music that I want to hear, because a lot of times I can't find what I want to hear. So people ask me like, what do you listen to? And I just listen to myself and beats most of the time, unless I'm listening, just checking something out from one of my people. Because for the most part, I don't hear what I want, so I make it for myself, you know. And luckily, so far, people have enjoyed it. But but that's my whole thing. I'm making what I want to hear and hoping that people enjoy it. And so far, they have. So let's keep it up.
And I think people just like with it for the simple fact of that idea. You know what I mean? Like people just like resonate to that.
It's
authentic.
authentic.
It's authentic.
Right. Okay, cool.
And I think in today's era, like authentic is what people really need right now.
Yeah, it's what's lacking. Everything's very superficial, especially in hip hop. You know what I mean? So it's nice to find like legitimate communities where people want to see you succeed. So that's definitely something big. So let me ask you another question here. So if there's something that you could have told yourself when you first started off, doing music, what would that thing be?
Invest in Bitcoin.
Okay, let's. Yes, but
what I would tell myself.
Invest in Bitcoin right now.
That's what I would have told myself then. No, but really, what I would say to myself is like, I would have told myself to start doing everything that I could myself way earlier. Stop waiting for other people to give me opportunities. I would have told myself to do that way earlier. You know, because when you're starting out as an artist, most artists have gone through that period where they're like, I'm going to make this thing and it's going to take me to where I want to go. You know what I'm saying? And then I tell all artists I work with, at some point, it's like a rite of passage for hip hop to break your heart. You know what I'm saying? You do this thing, you're like, this is the vehicle that's going to take me there, and then it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? You're looking at it and you're like, 15 views. Right? You know what I'm saying? And that's where you have to like, once you go through that rite of passage, then you start to like really think, what can I do for myself? Hopefully, you know. And I would have told myself at a young age, just do everything yourself now and let the chips fall where they may. You know what I'm saying? So that's the best advice I could give to anybody is,
Yeah.
That's fire. But what you just spoke on, people forget. Like, you can't skip steps. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta go through that, like, the no's. You have to go through the rejection. You have to go through the 3 plays on your song, like, to get to that point. Because then otherwise you're not gonna appreciate it. Or it's just going to be empty. Like, people buy a lot of streams just to see the numbers. But if you don't see the progress, like, I want to see my thing going like this. Like, I want to see my line going up and down. I don't want to see it go straight up. That's not realistic for me.
Because then it's going to go straight down.
Right, literally. Exactly. But I feel like, what Ro's talking about is just, like, longevity. Longevity. And that's what I see and hear whenever I hear you speak, when I see your posts, your lives. If he's live, people are tuning in.
Yeah.
And that's facts.
Yeah.
You know that, like,
The shows are bigger than like a lot of the bigger names out here be throwing in. Them humble hoodlums should be packed.
Facts.
Fire marshals get called.
I was just gonna say, let's talk about that show.
Oh,
because a lot of people don't know about that.
No, the one time the fire marshal came out because when we was at the VFW,
they lined us up.
Yeah, they lined us up. I'd never seen nothing like that. They passed the mic around, had us counting ourselves. The mic came to me. I was like,
I know this one lady. She came into the spot. She came up to me. She's like, Mario, I don't know what's going on, but task force is walking in right now. Literally, the second she told me that, I looked over her shoulder and there's 5 task force officers coming into the spot like they was looking for somebody or something. He was like, are y'all good and shit? They was like, nah, there's too many people in here. We can only have a certain amount of people.
Wasn't this before COVID?
Way before COVID.
Yeah, it was during COVID time.
Yo, but I will say that, like, with enough time away from the event, I can say this publicly, we had way too many people in there. It was like capacity was like 100. There was like 160 people there. Like,
yeah, that's funny though. This is how you know their community is so serious about like their fan base and stuff, right? Like he said, there was like 100, I don't know, like 50 something people in there, or whatever. And then so the marshal, whatever, came in. He was like, to have a live performance inside, you can only have up to like 99 people or something.
That's what it was at that spot, yeah.
Yeah. So then willingly, people who already paid for a ticket, who were there at the show, they was like, look, I will leave the show so they can continue the show. So people were leaving so we could continue, and the police just threw a whole fit. Because I ain't gonna lie, Everybody started tripping out, and it was like, na 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 na, hey, goodbye. And it was like, fuck, though, we're shutting this whole shit down. And they shut the whole shit. Yeah, they shut the whole shit down.
I would like to bet at that joint.
Oh yeah.
Memories.
You know, hoodlums are resilient though. Like that's one thing. Plans rarely survive humble hoodlums. So like we're ready.
There was people outside of the show. Like cops were like at the door. Like they were like nobody else can come in. We had like a row of people still trying to get in.
People still trying to get in, right?
Oh yeah.
They're just kicking people out.
Right.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no,
That's
that was a crazy time. But like I said, the support is real. The support is real.
Yeah, shout out to the hoodlums, man. All of this is
Shout out to
down.
Yeah, people commenting online.
What they saying?
They were saying.
They said that shit was crazy. I remember that.
Yeah, they said invest in sheep. Like Dogecoin. They said this shit was crazy. I remember that. When it got to my number, I was so lost. I guess this was someone in the crowd.
Oh yeah, because another thing they made us do, right? It was like everybody in the audience. They was like, we need to get a head count of how many people are in here. So like some fucking little kids, they all made us pass around the microphone. 1, 2, 3,
Wasting
4,
time, man. People-
5, 6, the whole.
Now the thing, people got more excited the closer it got to 100, and I'm in the
Right.
back like, yo, you don't want to hit 100.
Chill. We're at like 15 right now. Like,
Literally.
We hit like 85, and people started getting hyped because they wanted to be 100, and I'm like, no, you don't want to be 100.
You don't want to be that person, actually. Well,
Nah, man, that was a fun, crazy time, and it was good, man.
yeah, that was crazy.
None but love, none but love.
Yeah, and definitely, again, shout out to you just because, like, you know, you were one of the first people to, you know, get us hip to shows and stuff as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we started doing shows with Wisdom Court, Humble Hoodlum.
Shout out to Wisdom Court.
Shout out to
for
Wisdom
sure, for
Court,
sure.
you know, Billy Live. And, you know, it's just crazy because, you know, there's not that much, like you said, that community part. That's what I feel like people were lacking. So, you know, I think you just need to know your significance.
I appreciate
You know
that.
what I mean? I feel like, you know, sometimes we don't give people their flowers as much as we should. Like, and just, you should know, like, you have had a huge impact, not only on the community, but on C.K.G. specifically.
Thank
So,
you, I appreciate
you.
that.
Straight
I
up.
really do appreciate that. I'll give you the $50 for saying that later.
Oh, yeah. That's fine.
No, I really do appreciate that. I really do appreciate that, and that means a lot. And that's all I'm really trying to do is, you know, I want everybody to succeed. You know, I'm not one of these artists out here that's like, there's not a jealous bone in my body. There's no envy. Like I'm like out here championing everybody that I see doing it. Like Sonny Bronco just dropped a record, and that joint is ridiculous. You know
Shout
what I'm
out to
saying?
Sonny Bronco,
Shout out
man.
to Sonny. Nolan Village Soldier.
Right,
Nolan Village Soldier.
That
I heard you.
my video actually, the first video with the Lamborghini and stuff, that was shot in Nolan. So shout out to all my people in Nolan too,
Yeah,
man.
definitely. Nah, but that's love though, you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
And that's one thing I feel like, you know, you actually take that time to recognize the everything. Even you coming up here being like, yo, Tay just had something that dropped.
Right,
That's love.
right,
Not everybody's
right.
gonna do that, you know what
Right.
I
I
mean?
ain't asking
Right.
him to do it either. He just.
You
She
ain't
said,
gonna
I ain't asking to do it either.
You gonna get $50 after the show.
Right, you gonna get $50.
Yeah, that's where I'm gonna get the money for you from.
Hold up. We double dipping up in
Yeah,
here.
for real.
All right,
But
y'all.
no, it's definitely all love, and like anybody affiliated with Humble Hoodlum, I'm always gonna do anything I can for them specifically, you know. And I try to do what I can for artists in the area in general, but my main energy is for anybody that has anything to do with Humble Hoodlum, and I'm always, anytime I have a platform. Tay just drops last week. I'm gonna come up here and say it 3 times, you know.
Right,
I'm gonna
right,
also say
right.
that I drop next Friday too, Slap 4 on all streaming platforms.
And that's what we need more of. It's just that like genuine support. You feel me? Not because like you feel like you have to support somebody or anything like that. It should just be genuine. You know what I mean? Like, and people, like you said, people shouldn't get in their feelings about shit. Like just because you share somebody's shit doesn't mean that another artist should get pissed off just because you share their stuff. You feel me? Like,
Yeah,
there's
you
no
know?
hard feelings behind it.
Yeah, and nobody owes you anything in
Like,
this,
nobody
life.
owes you
You know what I mean?
nothing.
Like,
Nothing.
So okay. So you said a lot of great stuff. I wish we could keep talking to you for way longer. Because honestly, there's so much other questions I have for you. I'm not even gonna front. But for time purposes, what is something that you want to leave people with? Like, what's a takeaway from Super Row that you want our audience to remember?
Number one, it'll be a two-part thing. Number one, why I am Super Row. I'm Super Row because of the duality of all of this. Like, I'm sitting here and I'm talking to y'all, and really it's Lonnie Johnson you're talking to right now, you know. But when I get on the microphone and when I'm performing and stuff, I'm Super Row. I'm Superman. Super Row, the apostrophe is short for superhero. Because I'm Clark Kent right now. When I'm on stage, I'm Superman. When I'm on these records, I can say anything, I can do anything. I'm untouchable. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's lost on a lot of artists, that this is art, and you should be creating art as much as you're expressing yourself. You should be creating art because that's what lasts. You know what I mean? Yeah. And the last thing I'll leave y'all with is the same thing I leave everybody with all my lives. You know, love yourself, love everybody else, and then it's all love.
Right. That's facts.
And it's all love.
That's facts. All right, before we close you out of this interview thing, let them know where they can find you, man. Like, all your social medias and stuff, where people can join to become a hoodlum.
It's The Real Super Row on any platform, The Real Super Row. No spaces, no apostrophe.
No spaces.
And then humblehoodlum.com has everything else that you need. You can find your way to a little bit of everything from humblehoodlum.com.
All right, so make sure you guys go check out humblehoodlum.com. We're going to put that in the comments, too. That way people can go check it out.
And we got a show next month, the Dread I Loves You party, February 19th at Cafe 611.
Hey! We're going to add that in the comments, too. Let people know what's up. All right, guys.
Sorry, we have some comments.
Go ahead.
Gotta make sure we give our people online their flowers.
Yep.
So everybody's saying, hey, what's up, hoodlums? Anna Hoopengardner said hello. Sarah Steen said hoodlums stay hey.
A lot of hearts.
Lots of hearts. Hey, hoodlums. It's all about the love.
Yeah, I love y'all. Shout out to Anna.
Hell yeah.
Shout out to y'all at home. Shout out to everybody in the audience, man.
Shout out to everybody tonight, bro. Y'all was lit.
Yes, raise your Jimmy sodas.
Yes.
Oh, they did it. Right. Hey, I still got it.
Yes.
Jiggy with it.
Na.
That might be a copyright.
That ain't what we doing. Alright, don't let Will Smith hear that.
I
But
got you jingle.
in them pants, right? The pants?
The tight pants.
The tight pants?
Jingle will have all tight pants.
Bet. Alright, y'all. Well, thank you again so much,
Yes,
Super
yes,
Row.
man.
Round of
Thank
applause
you. Thanks for
again.
having me.
For having me.
Thank you.
Round of applause for y'all. Y'all the best.
Yeah, this was a great time.